It's finals week. Have you ever felt so stressed out? We are staying up late to finish papers and studying for exams. Have you ever felt like quitting, just giving up? The stress can get to you, and you just feel like you can't do it anymore. I know I have. And when I do, I look to someone for some inspiration. Ellen DeGeneres. Well, sort of. This blonde haired, blue eyed gal plays one of the coolest fishes I know, Dory. The fun loving fish is from Finding Nemo. Every time I feel like quitting, I think of Dory and her famous line, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. When I feel like giving up, I say that line to myself to push myself to finish. I was inspired by Dory to choose the movie Finding Nemo to analyze. Finding Nemo has to be one of my favorite movies of all time. Well, guys, I'm Alyssa Longboy, and come with me as we explore the movie together. The movie Finding Nemo is about a father named Marlin who has to raise his son Nemo after a horrible accident. Marlin is overly cautious and protective of his son after being so traumatized with what happened. Marlin reluctantly takes Nemo to his first days of school. Scared, Marlin follows his son. Nemo, being so upset to find his father, he swims close to the surface by a boat to prove that he is fine swimming alone. But he is caught by a diver. Terrified, Marlin sets out on his journey to find his son. Meanwhile, Nemo is put into a fish tank with other fishes by an Australian dentist. Marlin meets Dory, who has a short-term memory. She joins Marlin in his quest. While trying to find Nemo, they both run into many challenges and obstacles. But in the end, Marlin and Nemo are reunited and their bond is strengthened. Come on, Nemo!
No!
Dad?
You're about to swim in open water!
No, I wasn't
Just
gonna
go
go
out.
out. Dad,
You shut
no!
up.
Sorry, he wasn't gonna go. Yeah, he was too afraid. No, I wasn't.
This does not concern you, kids. And you're lucky I don't tell your parents you were out there. You know you can't swim well.
I can swim fine, Dad, okay?
No, it's not okay. You shouldn't be anywhere near here. Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? We'll start school in a year or two.
No, Dad! Just because you're scared of you.
Clearly you're not ready and you're not coming back until you are. You think you could do these things, but you just can't, Nemo.
There's nothing scatter over there. Excuse me, is there anything I can do? I am a scientist, sir. Is there any problem?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt things. He isn't a good swimmer. I just think it's a little too soon for him to be out here unsupervised.
Well, I can assure you he's quite safe with me.
Look, I'm sure he is. But you have a large class and you can get lost, from sight.
Oh my gosh! Nemo's swimming out the sea!
Nemo! What do you think you're doing? You're gonna get stuck out there and I'm gonna have to get you before another fish does. Get back here! I said get back here now! Stop! You take one more move, mister. Don't you dare! If you put one fin on that boat, are you listening to me? Don't touch the boat. Nemo! Touch the boat. You're just pounding your little tail right back here, Nemo. That's right. You were in big trouble, young man. Do you hear me? I'm coming, Nemo.
So that was the film clip I chose to analyze for my paper. Now I believe that this scene has to be one of the climaxes out of the movie. Now this scene is really important, and I feel like it's one of the most important scenes out of the whole movie. We see Marlin and Nemo's raw emotions come out, and every time I watch that scene, I can feel the emotions, and it really does come out and show through. Now, from that specific scene, I chose to analyze Marlin. He's a very interesting character, and from that scene alone, he communicates to Nemo and even the viewers many emotions that he's going through. In my paper, I analyzed analyzed Marlon with three communication concepts: facial expressions, individualism, and vocal cues. But for today, I will only be focusing on Marlon's use of vocalics. According to our course book, paralanguage refers to something beyond or in addition to language itself. Paralanguage has two components: voice qualities and vocalizations. I'll be mainly focusing on voice qualities. Now, voice qualities includes rate of speech. Rate of speech is how fast or how slow you can talk, how many words you can fit in a specified time. While Marlon was talking to Nemo, he started to pick up his speed. He would say, "Clearly you're not ready and we're not coming back till you are. You think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo." Now, I had to go back to the scene and figure out what he was saying because he was saying it so fast. This emphasizes how upset he was and how angry he was, because I can say when I get angry, I do get my speech does get faster because my heart is pumping so fast. Another quality is pitch. Pitch is how high or how low your voice can get. But according to Marlon, his pitch would go high. So when he would say, "You're about to swim into open water," his pitch would go up when he would say water. Or another thing he would say is, "You know you can't swim well." So his pitch was kind of like a roller coaster as it would go up and down. I want to focus on vocalizations. According to the book, vocalizations can destroy his or her effectiveness. So vocalizations can include the words yeah, like, so kind of like word fillers. But in that dialogue between Nemo and Marlon, not once did I hear Marlon stutter or say the word He was very confident and compelling in his delivery. And the last thing I want to focus on is his volume. Throughout the whole scene, he was yelling, and his volume was at a high. The whole time he was talking to Nemo, it was the same volume throughout the whole dialogue. In conclusion, I can say that in the scene I selected alone, Marlon used his speech a lot. He voiced his opinions to Nemo, and it was effective in many ways. The viewer can feel Marlon's conviction. There was power in his words and his speech. He used paralinguistics as his tone, pitch, and volume to emphasize his seriousness. I believe that Marlon's communication between Nemo is a fail, with Marlon being too overprotective and yelling at Nemo in front of all his new friends. It caused him to rebel. Nemo must have been so embarrassed and angry. Marlon's individualistic approach caused Nemo to swim away and touch the boat. Marlon had no sympathy for Nemo. He didn't give Nemo any freedom, and in result of this, Nemo was taken. I honestly think that if Marlon pulled Nemo aside and talked to him in a calm tone, Nemo wouldn't have swam away. I think Nemo deciphered the message differently than how Marlon felt he delivered it. Nemo thought his dad was doubting him and thinking that he's not capable of swimming. But I think that Marlon was just a concerned parent. Nemo didn't see that Marlon was only protecting him from harm, that Marlon was only yelling at him because he loves him. But Nemo took it in a different way. But I also see this as a success between Marlon and the audience. While watching the scene, I could feel the emotions of Marlon. It was believable. I could relate to Nemo because the way Marlon was yelling at him is the same way my parents used to yell at me when I did something wrong. His voice was really powerful, and we could feel the emotions through the screen. Thank you for watching my presentation. I just want you folks to remember that even though finals can be stressful and a little overwhelming, you guys just have to keep studying. Thank you, Professor Bright and classmates. Take care and have a fun summer.